Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Week 5 of the Simulation Football Minor Leagues. It has been a wild season so far, and tonight we've got another thrilling matchup for you to start off this Tuesday evening slate. The San Jose Flight, fresh off back-to-back victories, are on the road tonight with a 2-2 record as they take on the 3-1 New York Gargoyles right here at home. For New York, this is just their second home game of the season, so they'll be looking to keep their momentum going in front of their fans. Hello, I am Timu Chad Rowland, also known as Brett Sahlberg, and I'm joined by my broadcast partner who has more kids to take care of than switch thumper interceptions. It's the OG, Chad Rowland. Chad, this one should be a great test for both teams. The Flight have really turned things around, but they'll be up against a tough Gargoyle squad that has been riding high so far this year.
Yeah, and good evening to you, Timu Chad, a.k.a. Brett. And yeah, San Jose, I mean, this is a team that, we talked about before, has struggled a little bit offensively, but came out and scored 30 last week against Philly. Let's see if they're able to continue that momentum here on the road.
And this will be a game that has two contrasting offenses. San Jose in the win against Philadelphia, really carried by that run game, whereas for New York, that passing game, a lot of empty sets that we saw from them. And we'll have to see what San Jose brings to the table, because here we go here in New York City at his return at the 4-yard line, up to the right side, past the 30. It's great work on the sideline from the returner to get it to the 33-yard line. And here we're going to see the offense led by quarterback Brady White, who was 14 to 22 last week, 226 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks, kept things clean. Chad, how important is it for a quarterback to keep himself clean in the stats department?
I mean, it's pretty important, right? I mean, we've seen a bunch of games here in the past few weeks, even in the SFL, where quarterbacks just not keeping themselves clean and throwing picks and making mistakes. That is a big key here in the SFLm to be able to make that mistake-free football.
And first play is going to be a pass from White. He gets a completion down the middle, which is going to be fumbled right away. So New York is going to get the recovery. First possession for San Jose ends up with a turnover via the fumble.
Yeah, and it looks like it went right to Luis Cotty, I believe it looks like. But yeah, I mean, the quarterback made the right read, made the perfect throw. But obviously, one of the things you got to do, and you know, Brett, you got to hold on to the football.
And now comes the dangerous New York offense that had a lot of passing involved, and it's going to be hyper-focused on Jordan Goodman, who had 372 yards on 47 pass attempts in their 42-10 win against Boston. And they're going to start up with a single-eye formation on 1st and 10. They're going to shift one of their tight ends. That looks to be Talababi, who had all three of those touchdowns in the game, clocked down to 2, manages to get the toss off. Great space on the left side, and Rob Noel doing great work for Bossier City, as well as the New York Gargoyles, gets a quick first down for the Gargoyles.
Yeah, I mean, just coming off of a game a couple of days ago, right? And here is Rob Noel coming over here to New York and just keeping that momentum going. Great first run here by the Gargoyles.
Yeah, and they probably want to establish that run game a little bit more, mainly because Noel only had 9 carries in that Boston game, along with Dominic Kane, the other halfback, who only got 2 carries, but an effective 17 yards. Split backs on 1st and 10 here at the 36. Goodman back to throw. He's got pursuit on his left, finds a target on the curl route. That's going to be one of their receivers up to the left side, making an 8-yard gain for 2nd and 2.
Yeah, I like the Goodman connection right there, right? Jordan Goodman with the throw, Michael Goodman there with the nice catch, a gain of 8 yards.
And they found a lot of connections in that last week game. 142 of those yards went to Michael as another toss play to Noel. Gets an easy first down. Not a lot of separation past that first down marker. Does get past the marker. And New York looking pretty strong on this first possession.
Yeah, so far so good. I mean, I was kind of expecting to maybe see Noel going in between the tackles, right? But he's actually going outside the tackles, and that's been pretty effective.
I think he's trying to utilize his strength a little bit more on that outside. Once again, a toss play to Noel. He breaks off the first, but doesn't get too much afterwards. They're going to mark it a 3-yard gain. San Jose a little bit more privy this time to that toss play, 2nd and 7.
Yep, and that's one of the big things, right? If you're not going to make that stop there in the backfield, at least slow him down. And that's exactly what that linebacker did there.
And what we've not seen a lot of in this possession has been empty set, which they did last week. And this time it's split backs. This time is going to be the toss to the other running back. That is going to be Dominic Kane to get his first carry of the game, but doesn't get any traction. It's going to be 3rd and 7 now for New York.
Well, and this team, San Jose has struggled a little bit defensively and probably a little bit in the run game as well. So New York seeing that, maybe trying to take advantage of that opportunity to run the football.
Now has trips to the left. This might be a designed pass for New York. We saw this a few times in the game against Boston. Not a lot, though. And it will be. It's going to be a 7-step drop for Goodman. Has time to throw it down the field. Finds his target. What a throw from Goodman. And he finds his receiver. Touchdown, New York.
I mean, just first off, you got to give credit to the offensive line, right? They really held their blocks in. San Jose was bringing a little bit of pressure, but Goodman staying in that pocket, showing composure, and just hitting that beautiful middle throw right there. I mean, look at that, right in between two defenders, Brett.
Yeah, and that is, it's tough to find that needle in a thread pass, especially from quarterbacks that are just starting up in this league. Jordan Goodman is a new SFLm rookie here in this league, along with Brady White, the week 2 signing. So we're talking about fresh quarterbacks as the extra point is up and good. That'll be a 6-play, 48-yard drive, just only 2 minutes left off the mark. They capitalize on the turnover to get the points, and now New York leading this thing just 2.5 minutes in.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what you want to do, right? If you create turnovers, you want to make them pay for it, and that's exactly what New York did. They created the turnover. They got 7 points out of it. Now let's see if San Jose can bounce back. I mean, it was only one play, right? One throw, one fumble. So let's see how San Jose's offense can act here.
And Texera is the second man on the kick return team, gets the kickoff return up to the 28-yard line. And like you said, Chad, this is time to kind of reset your brain. If you're the San Jose offense, you really want to get that turnover out of your head. Just focus on what's right. Do you expect maybe a run to start off this drive?
Yeah, I mean, I can see, maybe trying to go to Ace Ketchum there, right? But it looks like they might go a little bit empty set, just air it out here.
And they do go empty set, no receivers. This is a shotgun set with 3 receivers and 2 tight ends. So watch for one of those 2 tight ends in the set, more specifically maybe Rodney Smith or Sanj Singh over on those opposite sides. Clark is back to throw. He finds it down the middle, trying to find the tight end, Sanj Singh. Couldn't get it through. It's going to be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, I mean, that was just a nice play by the linebacker, Greco Flint, right? I mean, he just drops back in coverage, watching his eyes the entire time, and was able to jump that route.
And once again, no halfback or running back in this 2nd down. It's going to be another empty set, another 3 receiver, 2 tight end formation. It's going to be White back to throw again, a 3-step drop, trying to go down the middle, trying to get to that target on the left side, and couldn't get the connection to Victor Rojas. Quickly now, Chad, it's 3rd and 10.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind the aggressiveness, right, coming out here in this drive because you want to show the established that, you're good with your quarterback, but maybe start to do a little bit of short throws, right? Maybe not try to go so deep here.
San Jose carried the football 40 times amongst their running backs last week, and right now we have not seen any carries as White goes back to throw. Finds Rojas on the right side with space on the right. He continues to move forward. He's got 3 defenders going past him to the 10, trying to push through and gets out of bounds at about the 8-yard line. Great catch and run from Victor Rojas.
I mean, I said maybe they need to start throwing short, but what do I know, Brett, right? I mean, look at this. Just a great throw right there. The defender just got a little bit turned around there. Rojas making a great play there and just going down the line. Beautiful pitch and catch there to get inside the 10.
Yeah, and it looked to me that Tyler Highfield, Eric Belmont, and it looked to be maybe Andre Brown as well trying to get involved in that pass. Couldn't get it caught, which led to the open space. And now San Jose at the 7 has that I formation toss play. It's going to be to their first toss play of the game. It looks to be to Ant Tim, and it's not going to get much traction. It's going to be 2nd and goal.
Yeah, Ant Tim, just a week 4 signing, right? So just getting his feet wet and learning exactly how to be a running back in this league. And that was a nice little run there. Not too bad. Sets up 2nd and goal.
And talking about big guns, they got the big guns and the running backs on that backfield now. Catch them in the back, and then it looks to me like Speedy Gonzalez is going to be the fullback in this formation as they shift Rojas to the left. It will be an inside handoff to Ketchum, who gets a couple more yards, gets it inside the 5, and we do have a man down on the field. It looks to be Kano Fortson on that defensive side. And the one thing that New York does pride on themselves is that full defensive line, and Fortson's going to be out for at least this drive.
Yeah, and hopefully Forza will be all right. But do want to give a shout out to on the defensive side to Tyler Highfield there on that tackle as well. Ace Ketchum, he's a pro and he's able to go in there and make some moves. But Highfield made a great tackle.
Big third down for San Jose. Can they respond on this pass from White? Clears out the pocket, throwing to his right, gets a deflection off that front level. It's good work from Grackleflint again, who has been making moves in Queen City so far this season. Now it's 4th and goal.
Yeah, and this is where I think, with Brady White, with time and snaps, he's going to find the opportunity to do this, right? Because this is something where the eternal clock needs to be going off in his head and saying, I have an open field in front of me. I'm going to take this in myself for 6. Did not do it there. Maybe that's something that the coaching staff can work with him on the sidelines.
21-yard chip shot field goal coming up for San Jose, and it does curl through. So San Jose does not leave this drive empty-handed. Huge play from Rojas, but couldn't punch their ticket in. It's now 7-3, still in favor of the hometown Gargoyles. Would you still take the 3 after that long pass to Victor Rojas?
I mean, I think at this point, yeah, right. Because, obviously the first 2 plays really didn't work in your favor. You try to go empty set for 3rd down. I mean, I don't mind aggressiveness, Brett. Trust me, I'm one of them types that loves to be aggressive. But at the same time, in this situation, this early in the ball game, I think it's just you take your 3 and move on.
A return made by Washington, who had that touchdown pass from Goodman to make that a 7-0 game early on. Gets a nice return past the 25. And now New York looking to respond. Chad, it's already been an explosive start to this game. We're not even 4 minutes old into this matchup. We've already seen a touchdown, a field goal, and a fumble recovery out of this.
I mean, this is what I was hoping to come to New York for, right? Big things, Big Apple. So we'll see if this continues.
At New York, a team that has scored 86 points through the first 4 games en route to a 3-1 record. Handoff to Noel off the stretch left. No traction on that play. Great tackle from the lineman.
Yeah, that was Luis Quintana. I believe may still be in Denver. Not too positive. I don't remember off the top of my head, but great tackle there by him. Noel trying to get to that outside, but just didn't work.
Once again, I formation on 2nd down for New York. And it will be a drop back for Goodman. Looking to the right, might have been a little bit of an ill-advised throw, mainly because Bobby Green was in the area. Nonetheless, could not find that Goodman to Goodman connection.
Yeah, definitely that was a little forced, right? I think he might have been able to, maybe try to go through his progressions, go through his reads and find something different. But sometimes if they're not open, you got to take it yourself and run with it.
3rd and 10. Design pass for Goodman. He's going to have to roll out because he sees the pressure, trying to get past the 1st down and could not quite make it. Great work from Stephen Goodman, the long lost Goodman, I guess you could say, to get the tackle to prevent the 1st down, and now New York has to punt it away.
It's like a Goodman family reunion out here, isn't it? But yeah, I mean, that's the type of play I'm talking about, right? These quarterbacks, these young ones especially, they're going to have to learn that eternal clock's got to go off, and that's exactly what he did there. He made the right read, made the right decision, but it just didn't result in a 1st down.
Punt return, and that's a shifty return man, trying to make extra yards work. Aiden Texera once again with the return, this time getting to the 28-yard line. And if you're San Jose, this is time to capitalize and maybe take the lead.
Yeah, exactly, right? I mean, this is a team that is, as you mentioned, I mean, New York has scored 80-some points in 4 games, right? And San Jose, this is an opportunity to take that lead and stomp on the throat a little bit here of New York.
Yeah, this is a San Jose team that scored pretty much half their points so far this season in 1 game alone last week. Only 61 this season, had 30 in the game last week. It's going to be a handoff. Looks to be no traction, no gain on the play. Speedy Gonzalez couldn't get through that 1st level.
Yeah, and it's just, you got to give credit to the linebackers in the front 7 of this New York Gargoyle defense. I mean, they're just making plays when it comes to stopping the run.
And back to no running back on second down. They have their three receivers. This has been their favorite formation in this first quarter. White back to throw, finds Rojas once again. Almost breaks past the tackle one more time. We could have saw another potential 65-yarder from Rojas, but gets tackled down at midfield.
I mean, Victor Rojas, man, he's built like a tight end, right? I mean, 6'6", 235. I just left a game in Chicago not too long ago where I saw a guy by the name of Paulie Truth dominate in that game against Nashville, right? And he's got the same build, same mentality. I love the connection here that San Jose's got right now.
Yeah, you'd be right. A happy meal away from being a tight end build. Maybe a little bit too skinny to SFL standards, but he's rocking it as wide receiver. White back to throw again, finds his receiver on the left side. Good find to get Tim involved, not in the run game, but in the pass game this time.
Yeah, I mean, I really like what I am seeing out of Tim, right? I mean, this is only, I believe, his second game. So, showing that he can run the football, showing that he can catch the football as well. That is something that these SFL GMs, as you know, Brett, as well as I do, are looking for in the next level.
Yeah, and a lot of teams out there in the league are also utilizing, their running backs as different parts of that offense too. We've seen, running backs play tight end. We've seen running backs play slot receiver. So they want to see that flexibility out. White to throw again on a two-step drop, trying to find his man, the deepest man down on the field. Can't get to Conduti's hands, and it's going to be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, and that's Conduti was the one that had that fumble on the first series, right? So looking like he has a little bit of hand problems here. Maybe he needs to hit the jug machine there during practice and work on those hands there, Brett.
Yeah, and that's one of the big things. If you can't catch that football, you might be utilized as just a blocking receiver down the line, and you want to be that high-profile receiver once you get into the majors. White back to throw in a 5-step drop, pass fake, but the time runs out. No chance for Goodman to get that off, and the defensive line does their job, bringing him back 5 yards.
Yeah, I mean, just a nice sack there by Wilson, right? I mean, the pump fake right there was trying to buy some time, but the time wasn't there at all. And great play there by the defense, making it 3rd and long here for San Jose.
And the edge rushers did a lot of that work, collapsing that pocket very quickly. So White had to make a decision. He decided to pump fake instead of throw it off. Empty set on 3rd and 15. Again, pocket collapsing, trying to find Rojas. Seems to be his safe lock option on pressure options. This time it doesn't work out. 4th and 15.
Yeah, I mean, you got to go with the hot hand that's making the catches, right? Victor Rojas is. When you look at the rest of those receiving core, Luis Canutti hit there, who, had a couple drops already. We've seen Aiden Teixeira's a week 3 signing. And then you got Simeon Tanklet Jr., this is his first game. So you got to work in those young rookies in there as well. But just right now, he's been mainly going to Rojas.
That booming punt decided to have all air and no distance. And New York is going to be the benefactor of this, going only to the 24-yard line. Chad, that was only about a 15-yard punt.
Yeah, that's about what I would do if I was a punter there, Brett. I think I would only be able to punt at 15 yards. I mean, I get it up in the air that high, but I may be able to get 15 yards. I don't know.
Yeah, you and I would have one of those line drive kicks, not one of those up in the air. Handoff to Noel on 1st and 10, only gets 2 yards. The San Jose defense starting to figure out, if Noel has the football, you've got to stop him right away, because he can be a running freight train if need be.
Yeah, and he's been proving it all season up, in Bossier City, now over here in New York. I mean, this is a guy that you give him an inch, he's got to take a mile.
He might not take a mile, he might take the whole stadium. Goodman finds his target. What a throw down in the field, and Talababi with an even better catch to secure it and get the first down.
I mean, what a catch here by Talababi. I mean, first off, the gallstones that Goodman has to be able to throw that to Bobby. But, I mean, she just made a fantastic catch there. I mean, just perfect play, good first down here for New York.
6'7", 225, maybe an underdeveloped tight end, but still a tight end nonetheless. Goodman back to throw on 1st down. Trying to find that middle throw. It's intercepted. And it's going to be returned up to enemy territory. Great work from Ramnar Sudi to turn the ball over and give great field position for San Jose.
Man, Sudi had a pick last week. Now here we are again. Just overthrows the target just a little bit there. It was intended for Bobby again, but Sudi watching the eyes the whole time of Goodman, just playing center field, able to make the great play.
What we're seeing so far, Chad, just in this first quarter alone, is both these quarterbacks want to deliver deep shots. You were talking about haymakers early on to eliminate their competition, and right now we're seeing a close game because of it. 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. White to throw again on first down, trying to find his target, finds it in double coverage. Rojas once again gets them inside the red zone. One play, and San Jose's already threatening.
Yeah, and really, and you are right. I mean, we're talking about throwing these haymakers, right? It's like watching, backyard boxing on YouTube. And with all this that's going on, White is the one that's actually been leading the charge there. I mean, already, as you can see, Rojas over 100 yards receiving already today. So the deep shot for San Jose is working.
159 last week, already at 102 this week. Rojas definitely becoming one of those featured minor league players we have to focus on throughout this season as a tight end shifts over to the right side. And it is going to be a handoff to the left, a little bit of a misdirection on that play, but Gonzalez only manages to get a couple.
Yeah, and Speedy Gonzalez. I mean, you've been working that pass and working that pass, getting first downs. It's nice to see as San Jose and head coach Art Vandal is going to be sprinkling the run in a little bit. I like the play call.
Yeah, and again, it's almost like that flip reverse that we saw before. San Jose ran the ball a lot in their last game. This time they're passing the ball a lot. White back to throw. He's going to dump that off to Gonzalez. Plenty of space on the right side. Gets the first down. And San Jose, second time in this quarter alone, in a goal line scenario.
Yeah, I mean, just this is a great play design. And I mentioned this in my last broadcast when I was calling the Chicago game. I wish that teams would utilize the screen more because it works. And there's a perfect example of it right there. Great play call by San Jose.
And just to counter that, there are teams that maybe are a little bit worried about the lack of protection. That is, textbook protection from the San Jose wide receiver core. Toss play to Tim, no gain. Immediately tackled by that first level, and that's the early struggles of a new signing there, Chad.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, and you're going to have your first bumps, right? And it is what it is. We've all been there in our SFL careers. And, I mean, look at me. I used to jump offside every time, Brett.
Oh, yeah. Too many false starts that I can remember just in the Rambler days is just one shed of the tackle from Mace Ketchum turns a no-gain play into a 3rd and goal to end the quarter at the 2-yard line. Exciting start to the game here, Chad, but it's a 7-3 score with San Jose threatening. We'll be right back in just a few seconds. And we are back here in the bright lights of New York City here in this late afternoon, early evening broadcast of Week 5 SFLm action. 3rd and goal coming up for San Jose at the 3.5-yard line.
Love to see a toss to catch him here.
There's going to be a rollout this time. White has been red hot as so far, and take that red hotness, turn it to white hot, finds his receiver, touchdown, San Jose.
Yeah, I mean, I was hoping maybe to see a toss run out there to catch him, but White rolls out and finding Rodney Smith, the tight end, 6'6", 247 there, just chilling by himself in the back of the end zone. I think New York just lost count of where he was at, and just great find there by White.
And looking back at that replay, Chad, there was a bevy of receivers available on the left side. You had Rojas on that left side. You had Gonzalez on a flat route. That was just a gift waiting to happen for San Jose, and they gave it to Rodney Smith. Extra point is good, and San Jose takes the lead on the road just 3 seconds into the second quarter, Chad. 10-7 is your score line so far.
I think somebody before the game may have predicted a road victory, maybe. I don't know. But I really like the way that they're playing here right now. I mean, this offense is built to pass the ball, right? 4 wide receivers, 2 tight ends. They use Speedy Gonzalez as well in the passing game. There's just a lot of targets for White to throw to.
And a decent return from the return man from New York to get it to past the 30-yard line. And now if you're New York, you've got to respond. You had yourself stopped via the interception. Now that they've scored points off of your own turnover, you've got to find ways to respond. In a situation like this, I think your playbook is wide open for any option.
Yeah, absolutely. The playbook is open here. You're not restricted just yet. It's early in the second quarter. Keep your game plan going.
And they go split backs on first down. I wouldn't be too surprised if we see a pass, and we do from Goodman. He's going to sling that rock to the left side, finds Michael Goodman. The Goodman to Goodman connection stays alive to start off the drive.
Yeah, I mean that's just where you got to go. Oh, whoa, wait a minute! And San Jose is challenging this, Brett.
And an interesting call here, Chad, to see if the catch was made in bounds. And we're going to take a retroactive look at this, not brought to you by Retroid because the SFLm can't afford Retroid, but nonetheless, we're still going to see a replay out of this, Chad. Talk to me about this challenge.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of wondering if he was inbounds. He looked like he was, but I mean, he's clearly inbounds. Look at that. I mean, I don't really know what was going on there.
There's a potential. There was the 1 foot down, but not the second. So we'll see the call here. And they're going to overturn it. It looked like that second foot did go out of bounds. So smart challenge decision from Art Vandelay and force New York into a 2nd and 10.
I mean, is it like, I mean, I thought like the knees would be down would be counting as that, but apparently not. That's kind of interesting there. But I mean, hey, good challenge by them. They were able to get it overturned, and now it's 2nd down.
Yeah, we might have to add a rule to the league where, maybe the bum counts as a 2nd foot or something. I'm not sure, but they're calling it out of bounds after the overturn. It's going to be 2nd and 10. Still back to the split backs formation, but just the lone wide receiver. Toss play to Noel, trying to use his strength to push forward, and he does. 6 yards for New York, gives them a 3rd and manageable.
Yeah, I mean, he took Dubois Smith there on a ride, right? I mean, this was Smith 6'3", 230. He's got his own size, but Rob Noel's a big guy, and so he's able to use that muscle and pull forward and make this a nice situation here for New York.
I mean, Chad, that's 260 pounds of moving muscle, and Rob Noel pass incomplete, overthrows his man, trying to find Talababi. Probably the 2nd favorite target in the game for Goodman so far is going to be 4th down.
So are you saying that Rob Noel is not a Happy Meal short?
No, I'd say he's had a few extra Whoppers in his diet as of recently, but he's a big man.
He's like a cowboy steak over, like
tougher than a $2 steak for sure.
Yeah, I mean, there you go.
And punt is away from New York. No capitalization on the response from New York, and San Jose is going to start things off at the 33-yard line. Now that you have momentum on your side, Chad, this is now a decision whether to chew up some clock or to just keep pressuring this New York team and get more points on the board.
I mean, if I'm Art Vandelay, and I think I know Art Vandelay well enough, put the pedals to the metal, Art. Let's go.
We may look at that right away as we have 3 receivers and 2 tight ends on that empty set. And again, we talk about Ant Tim being all over the place. Now shifting over as the single back option. White back to throw very quickly. Pocket collapsing, trying to find his deep receiver down the field. Can't get through. That's great work from Elliott Waddell to get that deflection.
Yeah, I mean, you had a guy underneath. You had a guy over the top. You were trying to fit in that window, and he almost did, right? I thought that was going to really turn into a fantastic play, but just dropped incomplete. Move on to 2nd down.
Both White and Goodman looking pretty sharp through this first quarter in 1 minute. And White will try to continue that way. Pocket collapses again. Hits as he's throwing the ball. Couldn't get it near his target. And very quickly, Chad, 3rd and 10 once again.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was Andre Brown that came on the blitz from the corner side or what. But, I mean, I will always be one of those guys that says pressure is something that just is a big thing that you need, and New York right now providing that pressure.
Yeah, they've already had 1 sack on the board so far in this game. Can they get another with this pressure coming in? Yes, they can. No blocking on that left side led to a wide open P. Fudor to get the sack and force San Jose to punt.
I mean, when you look at this front 4, right? Anthony Ellison, Kano Fortson, P. Fudor, and Big Snacks. I mean, I love that name, Big Snacks. I mean, that's a front 4 that you got to be a little bit worried about, right? And as I talked about, pressure is what does it, right? We just watched another league recently that a quarterback was very off because of the fact of a lot of pressure from the defense. Pressure and defense can win games, and that just proves it right there.
I mean, Chad, we've seen games where one defensive lineman can dictate the defense. We just saw Mark Mello have 6 sacks in a game. just a few weeks back. Like
Yeah.
you want to get that pressure from your linemen, no matter what. Another guy who's been dominating so far, and I have to give Vancouver credit, Achilles Papatonis, who's got 4.5 sacks this season. He's been dominant so far. You want that defensive line working. 1st and 10, hand off to Rob Noel, and that's a great carry. That's the open space that you want to give Noel on a 1st down. Give him 9 yards on the carry.
Yeah, I mean, I love that right there, right? Because Rob Noel is a north and south runner. So opening up that middle lane a little bit right there, giving Noel that breathing space, he's able to get 9 yards.
Once again, they're going with the stretch play. Wide open space on the left side. That is easy work for Dominic Kane to get the 1st down and then some.
Dominic Kane, one of the few returning rookies they got that comes back on this offense, and we haven't really called his name much, but when he gets his number called, he made a great run there.
Just the second mention of Dominic Kane, the returning player. Other returning players on an offense include Michael Goodman and Kojiro Rivers, which we haven't mentioned on the fullback side. Toss play to the left, for the right to Rob Noel. And again, another good gain. They're using that run game very well. Another 8 yards for the Christmas man.
Yeah, this is where I thought they would go, right? I mean, Rob Noel is one of those guys in this offense that you could just really rely on, and I figured they'd be doing a lot of the run game stuff, and now we're starting to see that come to fruition on this drive.
Maybe that interception has just made head coach Zach Benjamin say to Goodman, let's calm things down a little bit. Let's trust in our running backs. Toss play this time back to Kane. And again, that 1-2 punch just working enough to move those chains. Another 1st down for New York.
As a former head coach in this league, when you have a split back formation like that and you toss it and they run to the other side like that, that's a run that is always very scary, especially if the defense bring pressure. San Jose did not bring pressure, and look what happened. They were able to get the 1st down there.
Yeah, high risk, high reward with that toss play, but they get the reward very well in the form of a 1st down. 4 receivers on this 1st down. Quick throw is going to be caught by Talababi. And they're gonna mark it as a 1st down here, chap.
Yeah, I thought that she got across, right? It was really close. Obviously, we know that the line is unofficial, but like just a great throw right in between 2 defenders and only spot that Bobby could get it. What a throw there by Goodman.
Yeah, Goodman has made a couple of those solid throws already. We've seen, threading that needle a couple times and only getting it to the only where the receivers can grab it. And like I said, both quarterbacks have been doing well in this 1st half. Another 1st and 10, another quick throw. Again, trying to find Bobby on the out route this time, but incomplete.
Yeah, just well defended there, right? I mean, able to just knock it away. Tally Bobby has done a pretty good job so far making the catches, but I think that was just thrown a little bit behind her, and that's why the defender was there to make the play.
Back to the I formation here for 2nd down. They have a receiver on that left side. Don't be surprised if we see that Goodman to Goodman connection. Pressure coming and finds Bobby on that short route, trying to churn around, shuts off a tackle, and gets the 1st down. You talk about an underdeveloped tight end. Well, that agility pays off to get the 1st down.
Yeah, I thought here for a second, you could watch it on the replay. I thought the mistake of her running backwards was just going to cost her, but just showing the determination and great. And when you're, like I said, we are all pro people trying to look at these, these players up for the upcoming, seasons and stuff for the SFL. That is something that's going to stick out to a lot of GMs.
Yeah, and sometimes when you have that skinnier frame at 225, that helps with, being that Butterfingers type of player and getting the shitted tackles off you. Toss play to Noel on the opposite side, and he's trying to get past, but San Jose guessed right on where that toss was going. It's only going to mark for a couple yards for 2nd and 7.
Yeah, I mean, just great defense there by San Jose, right? The goal is, Rob Noel is pretty hard to bring down. You want to try to gang tackle him, and that's what they did. One guy tries to slow him down. The other guy comes right behind him and cleans it up.
Back to split backs on 2nd and 7. They're going to shift Goodman over to the right. This time it's going to be a handoff. This time it's going to be the Kane, who is going to get a couple extra yards, make it a 3rd and manageable. And this is still within field goal range for New York, so they could settle to tie this game up. But if I'm head coach Zach Benjamin, I'm looking for aggression out of your offense.
I almost feel like this could be 4th down territory right here. This is just me, but let's see how this 3rd down goes here.
And this might dictate what the score will be at the end of the second quarter. If I'm New York, it's going to be a stretch play in a while, and San Jose smothers the side. Luis Quintana on the joint tackle, forces fourth down.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to bring out the field goal team, and that's probably fair. I think if he would have got maybe like a yard or two, made it like 4th and 1, I think you could have seen it right. I would have loved to see like a little simple out route to Tally Bobby right there, right? But I mean, regardless, they got the 3 points. They tied this ball game up, and now it's got to be on San Jose's side to get it done.
Longest drive of the first half marks 4 minutes and 11 seconds, and New York has tied things up halfway through the second quarter. And now that the offenses have kind of exploded in the first quarter, now we're starting to see a little more of that methodical side from both these teams.
Yeah, we're starting to see that a little bit, right? The chess match that's going to be going on between these head coaches. And I mean, right now, you're going to be, just right about 4:20, 4:19 to go. Let's see how aggressive San Jose can get here.
Sarah with another decent return past the 30-yard line. And one of the big key things that a lot of coaches like to see is better starting field position than the other team. And right now, San Jose has done pretty well getting past that 30-yard line with the start of those drives. We'll see what they can do with 4:19 left in the second. And once again, we're seeing an empty set on first down. It's been very empty happy from this San Jose offensive game plan. White with a quick step drop just gets a short pass down the middle to Tim, who's going to net 3 yards. So it's a start is going to be a short pass.
Yeah, and I don't mind it, right? It's almost kind of like a run. You get 3 yards on it, you set up 2nd and 7, and hopefully you can get another 3-4 yards and set up 3rd and short, even get a first down.
The heavy eye here for 2nd and 7. It is going to be a handoff. And Ace Ketchum can't get past that first level. The New York defense kind of smothering that middle line, makes it 3rd and 6.
Yeah, that's where I would have liked to seen, White be able to call that off and maybe, audible that to the outside run, because the outside actually looked pretty open. The inside looked like New York already saw that coming.
We got pass alert on 3rd and 6. 4 receivers. This is where a lot of SFL teams love to throw those 50 and 70 plays out there. And White's going to be on a 70. That's a 5-step drop, trying to find Rojas on the right side, overthrew his man by about a yard or two. And that is a quick 3 and out from this San Jose offense.
Yeah, and I didn't really like the decision made there by White, right? I mean, it was a very crowded area back there, full of gargoyles. You had 3 of them back there covering one guy. I think, I don't know if he just went through the progressions too quick or what, because the line was holding up fine for him, Brett. So I think that he just made the decision a little too soon.
You're right. He might have maybe waited another second or two, see if things would open up. But this is looking like a decent return from Washington, shedding off a tackle, but gets to the 36-yard line. And now New York with an opportunity to end this half with the lead after they started this second quarter losing it.
Yeah, this is where, in my mind, New York needs to get aggressive, right? Because here's the thing. We got to remember, San Jose started with the ball. So New York gets the ball first here in the second half. So you're able to find an opportunity to try to double this up, Brett.
And about 3 minutes left to go. The big thing that we see in basketball, a lot of the end of quarter situations, 2-for-1 situations. You want to have 2 possessions coming up in just one fell swoop. That is one possession right away out of here. Goodman to Goodman. Touchdown, New York.
I mean, what a play right there, right? I mean, we talked about they had to be aggressive, want to come out and strike, and that's exactly what New York has done, right? I mean, this team scored 42 points last week. We know they can put points up in a hurry, and that shows you right there why. I mean, Goodman getting behind the defender right there on Goodman. So Goodman burned to Goodman to throw to Goodman, right? Like, just absolutely insane right there. But the Goodman name is, I mean, I don't know which way you want to look at that, Brett, but just a great play there by the offense.
Goodman to Goodman, burning Goodman. That's good, man.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. And sometimes the broadcasters just think wrong. We were thinking maybe they'll shed all 3 minutes left. They decide, you know what? We can do it in just 9 seconds. 64-yard catch for Michael Goodman. Gets New York the lead back to 17-10. And now it's response time from San Jose.
Yeah, I mean, that's the big question, right? You got all three timeouts. You got 3 minutes to go. You're going to be about 256, 255, depending on where you're at here. But I mean, this is the time to be aggressive, right? Because you know that New York's going to get the ball back. You got to put up some points on the board that we cut to this lead or even tie the ball game.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter if you get a field goal or if you get a touchdown. You want to get those points on the board, and you want to end the half with the football. And now knowing that New York is going to have the kickoff return in that second half, you want to make sure you utilize that last 2:59 on the clock in this half and make it probably fully your football. And they're going to start off empty set on 1st and 10. 3 receiver set, White back to throw. Pocket collapsing, intercepted, and there is no space whatsoever. 14-point swing in a matter of 10 seconds. Touchdown, Gargoyles.
I mean, Tyler Highfield was just, I don't even think he even saw him, right? I mean, that play just was not looking great for them again. Look at Highfield just watching the entire time, waiting, trying to hit the receiver on the outside. I believe he was going to Needfelt, or not Needfelt, but going to somewhere else there. That was actually the Simeon Caslett Jr., but Highfield right there just watching his eyes, made the play, touchdown for New York.
Yeah, the problem is that there was 2 receivers in that area. Had Ant Tim as well on the short side. Maybe would have gone with that option to secure the catch, but went with the risk, and the risk didn't pay off. And now the benefactor of the pick 6, New York, find themselves with a very quick 14-point lead. Chad, just 15 seconds ago, we were talking about a tie game.
Yeah, I mean, and that's just what happens, right? I mean, New York is a team that scores points and they score in bunches. And obviously, it's looking like they could do it on both sides of the ball. And if you're San Jose, you got to get that composure back. You got to show New York that didn't phase you.
We're going to see a flag on the return from Conduti, and that usually marks as a clipping penalty. So let's mark half the distance from that return from Conduti, and San Jose is going to start things at the 19-yard line. Now, going back to Brady White, he didn't have any turnovers in the last game in that victory against Philadelphia. And now he's got turnovers in the form of a bobbled fumble and now an interception.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as a young quarterback, you just got to get your mind right and ignore it, move on, and try to go for the next play.
And the best quarterbacks even have games where they throw 4 interceptions but still have great performances. White back to throw on a rollout, trying to find Rojas on the opposite side, can't get things complete. And just talking about those great performances from great turnovers, we just saw Shabazz Synergy throw 4 touchdowns and 4 interceptions, but still had a fantastic performance of over 400 yards.
Yeah, I mean, you see all kinds of the greats, do it, right? I mean, Ron Cochran's probably done it. Christian Brown's probably done it. Marcus Dunhill. I mean, all these guys have done it in the past.
White back to throw once again, trying to find Rojas, and that well may be running dry as of right now. Rojas is starting to struggle. It's 3rd and 10 now.
Yeah, very interesting to see, right? Because Rojas looked like he was catching everything, but now it's just going the opposite direction on him. Maybe White needs, as you said, maybe White needs to hit some other spots here. He's got plenty of receivers to go to.
Yeah, and we haven't seen any targets from to Texera or Conduti in a while. White back to throw one more time. Pocket collapsing, still finds it out and finds Texera down the middle. First target of the game, and again, an injured D lineman on the field for the Gargoyles. This time it's Anthony Ellison, the interior lineman.
Yeah, I mean, that's just not a good thing, right? They already lost Kano Fortson. Not sure if Fortson ever came back, but now you're losing Ellison. I mean, that's 2 big pieces on your defensive line. If I'm San Jose right now and I'm head coach Art Vandelay, I may try to, in the second half, try to go back to that middle run game and see if it works now.
And you've got capable guys down that middle, like Ace Ketchum and Speedy Gonzalez. Yeah. They may look, skinny by nature, but they're deceptively strong. And you already see the motion in hand having a running back on that far side. It helps to block for this pass, though. Finds Rojas on the short route, and that's maybe where they need to go for Rojas, is just get those short catches. It's going to be 2nd and 4.
Yeah, and I mean, nothing builds confidence like completions, right? And so Brady White, the best situation is always try to throw a little short, right? And then you get your confidence, then you try to go deep, and that's what they're doing right here. Good play call.
And off up to Tim, and he finds that space, and you said it, Chad, the injuries to that interior line is maybe starting to pay off dividends, and Tim gets the first down.
Yeah, like I said, not sure. Obviously we haven't seen big snacks really do much, but Anthony Ellison being injured, that's 295 pounds of man right there that you're missing. So, if I'm San Jose, I'm going to try to take a piece of that.
We got 2 minutes to go here in the first half. New York exploding to a 14-point San Jose respond at the end of this half. We'll stay tuned in just a few seconds. White back to throw here on this first down, tries to find middle and does. Conduti with the catch, bringing them to enemy territory, and that is what San Jose has needed.
Yeah, Conduti right there. I mean, he's been targeted a few times. I believe that may be his first catch of the night. Not sure, but just a nice little route on the inside there. Had the leverage, makes a nice play, gets the first down.
And it was a good route ran as well. Got past Eric Belmont and had space down the middle. And that's what you want out of your receivers, is just to have that separation between himself and the corner. So great work from Conduti to break open. 1st and 10 once again, empty set with the time ticking. White back to throw, steps out of the pocket, trying to find more space, tries to find Tim deep down the field. And that might be one of the downsides of trying to throw to a 5'10" receiver.
Yeah, I mean, you said it perfectly right. I mean, the guy's a little on the short side. So, I mean, 5'10", not the type of guy you want to try to throw maybe over the middle to. Maybe you want a little bit more size there, but incomplete, second down.
And one upside, he's still taller than Sudo Nakai. So we'll give him that.
That's true. Very true. There's a lot of people taller than Sudo Nakai.
That's very true. I would say the whole league is. Rodney Smith moving over as the slot receiver for 2nd and 10. White back to throw. There's still pressure being applied from the New York off defense, but Rojas can't manage to grab that ball. Maybe a little underthrown from White, but it still ends up 3rd and 10 coming up for San Jose.
Yeah, I really kind of blame that one on White, right? I mean, just you have a receiver, and he was open, right? There wasn't really anybody around him once he got past that first defender. So you got to be able to hit your man to stride, and obviously he, was just a little short of that. So now it's set up 3rd and long.
Still outside of field goal range for San Jose. They want to get these yards. 3rd and 10 with a minute 23 left to go in the half. White back to throw. Slings that to Conduti. The target down the middle, and he gets free. Touchdown, San Jose. Conduti breaks open.
I mean, if we can give out a nice hands catch right there, let's just do it right there, right? Because that was just beautiful. One-handed over the middle, in stride, was able to just get him, in open space. Look at this. I mean, just beautiful throw, and was able to just keep that speed going, keep that momentum going, and get that touchdown. San Jose, that's a big, big touchdown here for the flight.
Yeah, and a great response to essentially what was a 14-point swing, like I mentioned earlier, from New York, to get some of those points back and do that with efficient timing. And like you said, probably your nice hands catch of the game, brought to you by Roland's Daycare Center. If you've got kids, I'm pretty sure Chad has more. 9 plays, 81 yards on the drive in just $135. That's what you call an ideal 2-minute drill.
I mean, you're not wrong about the daycare. I'm sure if you got kids, I may have more. So luckily I can't have any more, thank God. But yeah, I mean, just a great response there. Obviously, as you mentioned, I mean, the 14-point swing, that can take any momentum out of any team, but San Jose kept their composure, went down the field, and was able to get a touchdown out of it.
Yeah, and that's the big thing. You want to have that composure within your offense, knowing that you just turned the ball over via pick 6, and then you return the favor by getting a touchdown on your own to get that response back. That's key to really that locker room talk is definitely going to be different than before with those points on the board. But New York with $1:12 left to go. Are they going to respond in kind? Rob Noel stretches it to the left and gets 6 yards, and I wouldn't be too surprised, Chad, if they just run this clock out and head to the locker room.
Yeah, I was waiting to see what they did with that first run, right, or first play. If they tried to throw it down the middle, maybe they're going to be aggressive. But yeah, you're right. I think they just, now even going into the eye Joker set, I think they're just going to run this to the half.
And the big thing is if they can get to enemy territory, which that's a great run to get another a big first down for Dominic Kane. If they get themselves in enemy territory pretty quickly here, we might start seeing some timeouts, but they are very content on letting this clock run to zeros.
Yeah, and I don't blame them. And I'll tell you, I am a huge fan of draw runs. I've always been a huge fan. They can just seriously improve your run game, and that shows right there what it can do. Great run by the Gargoyles.
Yeah, draw run's very underrated types of run plays in this league. We love the stretches, we love the tosses, but draws not so much. We don't see a lot of it, and now you see them in enemy territory. New York calls their first timeout following an 8-yard run from Rob Noel.
Yep, there you go. I mean, now, like you mentioned, I mean, they're in enemy territory. Now you kind of have a shot, right? Two timeouts left. You got some time. Might want to try to see if you take a shot, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see on this play. You're not sure if they're going to pass it. They will. Goodman back to throw. It's a short pass, just trying to get to that first down, trying to find what looked to be one of the reserve receivers, but just couldn't find the target. 14 ticks left to go in the second.
Yeah, I would love to see a deep shot right here by New York, right? I mean, what do you got to lose? I mean, obviously you could throw an interception and it could be bad, but like, I mean, right now they're an eye jokers again, so I don't think they're going to do it. But would have loved to seen a deep shot.
You can call it a glorified arm punt if they decide to throw it deep and results in an interception. But they're just going to hand this ball off to Noel. He gets the first down, and they're going to go hurry up despite the 2 timeouts left here, Chad.
Yeah, kind of interesting what they're doing here.
And hurry up toss, and Noel trying to get through his own offensive line, and they will call timeout with 1 second left in the second quarter. It's at the 40-yard line, still outside of field goal range, so we might see ourselves a Hail Gary.
Ooh, a Hail Gary, right? Is that like the Canadian version of a Hail Mary?
Yeah, pretty much. It's a running joke that Tyler and I have had for about 2 years at this point, that instead of saying Hail Mary, we say Hail Gary. But
or is
we
it like
don't.
Is it like a Hail Gary?
Yeah, maybe, but they're not going to hail it. They're going to just hand that ball off to Rob Noel, increase his yards per carry to end the second quarter and end the first half. Chad, New York is up 7 after a wild 5-minute drill over this last little while here, and it's resulted in a 24-17 score. Chad, what are your thoughts on the first half?
I mean, let's just talk about, New York, right? I mean, they've done a terrific job, obviously, on both sides of the ball. And, they have made the effort to make San Jose pay for their mistakes, right? They get the interception for the touchdown. They're able to, defenders making bad decisions, able to burn them with Michael Goodman down the sideline. I mean, New York has done a very good job. On the opposite side, though, San Jose, you got to give them props for their composure, right? Because after, as we said, that the 14-point swing, that could take a lot of teams out. But San Jose, well coached by Art Vandelay, coming out there. They were able to keep their composure and get this game in the 7th. If it was still a 14-point game, Brett, we could be talking about maybe a possible blowout.
Yeah, and a much different, like I said, a much different locker room talk coming from that San Jose front. Now it's a 7-point game. Halftime player of the game goes to one of the Goodman brothers. This time it's going to be Michael Goodman, who had that big catch earlier on. First half player of the game brought to you by Eddie Gage's Deli, where we got the meats. And we're going to start off this second half here. New York is going to get possession of that football first, Chad, and it's going to be interesting what they prepare out of this. But they've got themselves a 7-point lead. They've got New York up on its feet, and we got ourselves some second half action, and here we are. Returned at the 10-yard line by Washington, and he's going to have good space. Gets himself stopped at the 33-yard line, and quarterback play from New York has done pretty well so far. The Goodman to Goodman connection has worked really well as the connections to Talababi. Could they look somewhere else, or are they going to keep feeding the ball to Rob Noel to start off the second half?
Yeah, I mean, you haven't seen anything from, Neatfeld. You haven't seen anything from Keenfield, the Week 3 signing, so maybe they try to sprinkle that in a little bit here.
They're going to start off with 3 receivers now to the right after shifting over. James Jennings, a tight end that we haven't mentioned yet. Goodman back to throw, finds Michael Goodman once again, and New York is going to start things off with Goodman to Goodman.
Yeah, I mean, the connection is working, right? I mean, he is just, there's 3 flight members right there just around him, but, Goodman finding the spot, the other Goodman just making a great throw, and you got to keep that connection going.
87 yards on 4 receptions. That's something akin to what we've seen earlier just in this SFL season. I think Mike St. Green had one of those performances earlier in the week as well. Handoff. They're trying to get Kane involved in the second half as well, but only nets a yard. The defensive line doing their job for San Jose.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to be like Mike St. Green, right? I mean, a broken clock is right twice a day. So, but but I mean, yeah, Goodman is looked really good so far, and this New York run right there looked good as well.
To give credit to MSG, he's shied himself away from the one catch wonder he usually is every game. He's performed pretty
Yeah,
well for Houston this season. And talking about good performances, Rob Noel continues to push forward another 7-yard gain, ups that YPC probably over 5 at this point.
yeah, I would think that he is probably over 5 yards to carry at this point because Noel has looked really good, but yeah, he's definitely a dozer as our Vandalay is saying in the chat.
And split backs on 3rd and 3. They're going to toss the opposite side to Kane, who's got space, but they're going to give him the first down. This might be another worthy challenge for Art Vandelay. Let's see if they pull that red hanky out of his sock.
Yeah, that was a very generous spot, and there's our Vandalay right on cue throwing that challenge flag.
Yeah, another retroactive look brought to you by Nobody. If you'd like to place an ad, just contact Alex West over on the Discord, and I'm pretty sure he'll give us some ads to read here. But nonetheless, we're going to see a replay of this. And well, I thought, Chad, that this was clearly about half an inch short.
Yeah, I believe so too. And I mean, yeah, definitely short. The ball is on the opposite side there, right? I don't think that's anywhere near a first down.
And I have to believe that that's going to be overturned as well. And they are going to overturn this one. So Art Vandelay, 2 for 2 on challenges. His hanky work has been supreme for this San Jose squad here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, you got to give him credit. I mean, normally you see Art Vandelay doing a great job coaching and catching the ball and running the ball. Maybe not as much as you should, Art. You shouldn't be running that much, but nevertheless, I mean, just a great call there by the head coach Art Vandelay to make a 4th down.
Florida already got their slap on the wrist. Oh, it's a punt fake here. So they're slinging it deep, and it's going to be complete. They had an open look on the left side, but he just couldn't manage to get his hands on it. And now New York is going to start things at around the 41-yard line. It's not too terrible, but man, that was a close call.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing I can give some advice to Zach Benjamin and the gang there in New York. Make sure, you got the right guys in place there on a punt because you never know when that's going to happen, right? They make the right call. They tried to go a little aggressive there. It didn't work for them. Now San Jose with a great opportunity.
Yeah, we're at the around the 41.5-yard line, so this is great field position, and this could be something they could capitalize and try to tie the game with. They're going to move their one tight end, Smith, over to the right side. It's going to be White back to throw, finds Rojas on a curl, and finds extra space, shedding off the tackle, gets the first down, rolls around another. Man, the agility on full force on that play alone from Victor Rojas to get the first down.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean as a pro. I mean, that's what you're looking for, right? Watching this play here. I mean, he goes back. We talked about Tally Bobby doing it earlier. Now you see Victor Rojas keeping the feet in bounds, making a nice spin move, and fighting for those extra yards. And want to give a shout out here to our Vandalay real quick. Yeah, I believe actually somebody made it work and got a touchdown out of a fake punt, if I remember right.
Yeah, and it's worked. Like, we've seen a couple of times it work in the 4K23 era. It's not been super successful, but we have examples. Back to throw is White and finds his target over on the left side, and I believe that's going to be a second reception for Aiden Texera.
Yeah, Texera there with a nice catch. I mean, just a nice little, what looked like, just kind of like an arrow route in a sense, right? And maybe not a complete arrow route, but close enough. But yeah, I mean, just straight over, finding the open spot in the field, makes a great catch. Good throw there by Brady White.
That put White over the 50% mark. You saw 14 of 27 through 23 minutes of action, and this might be pass number 28. White back to throw down the middle, finds his target. It's going to be fumbled and recovered by Grackelfink from New York side, and has space on the left, still running through, and gets past the 40-yard line. That almost looked to be a scoop and score from Jasad Grackelfink.
I mean, wow. Like, first off, I mean, if you notice who that was, I believe that was Kadati right there again. That's his second fumble of the day. Grackelfink was able to pick that up, and just watching the agility here of the big guy, right? Finding, tiptoeing down the sideline right there, ducking away from everybody. Just a great play there by Grackelfink. And San Jose, I mean, New York tried to go for it on fourth down and missed. San Jose should have made that count, but here it is, another mistake. Let's see if New York can make it capitalize on it.
If Graco Flint would have shedded off that one last tackle, that could have been an 80-yard scoop and score.
Yeah.
And that would have been one of the craziest moments. Handoff, delay to Noel, and another 5 yards. That's what you want to get out of your running backs, that 4 to 6 yard kind of bubble to start off drives, and that gives you good momentum to start things off.
Yeah, if Grackle Flint would have took that back, man, I mean, he would have got like a very expensive sandwich from the deli shop of Eddie Gage, because we all know if Eddie Gage's name's on it, it's damn near expensive.
Yeah, and the only weird thing I have with it is that he tells people that he loves them every time, and it's a little bit creepy. But it still works for me. Handoff, and it's going to be a fumble from New York side, and there is space on the left side for San Jose to recover. So San Jose gets a little bit of luck to go their side and recovers a fumble of their own. This is, I believe, Chad, the 5th turnover of the game.
Yeah, I believe it is. Dubois Smith there with the hit on him. What a play there. And then Sokasi, I believe is how you say it, Dustin Sokasi with the recovery. And all of a sudden, we talked about San Jose not being able to hold on to the ball and making a mistake. Now they make it back up. The defense helped them. The offense now has to pay them back for their service.
And they're practically almost in the same position that they fumbled that football as well. So this is just basically back to business if you're the flight offense. 1st and 10 at the 39. White with a pump fake. Can't find his target before he gets smothered down to the ground. I've never seen a quarterback go down as quickly on a hit as before. Great work from the linebacking core.
Yeah, I mean, that's Wilson's 2nd sack right there, right? Actually, that may be, his 2nd sack of the game. And just, you're right. I mean, he just went down like a sack of potatoes.
And he went down faster than any Mark Mello sack that we saw earlier a few weeks ago. White back to throw again. This time, no hesitation to throw that quickly. He did not want to get pressured by that defense, and as a result, he overthrows his target by about 3 yards.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he's feeling a little bit of that pressure, right? Wilson getting his 2nd sack kind of rattled him a little bit. He drops back on his first pass afterward and just quickly throws it and overthrows it, Brett. The pressure may be getting to White here.
Yeah, and he wants to stay. You want to stay composed in moments like this. Down 7, White back to throw, trying to throw. In full coverage, doesn't work out. And that looked to be intended for Taslett Jr. It's going to be incomplete. 4th and 14 out of field goal range.
Man, I'll tell you what. I mean, that play almost looked bang bang when it comes to, the defender and taking that receiver down. Maybe could have. I'm surprised we didn't see a flag thrown there, maybe for possible interference, but it was a little overthrown. Great defense there by New York.
And there's a little bit of pressure from the Gargoyles return team, but it's going to be a decent return from Washington. There's been a lot of moments where returners just get head after they return the punt, but he gets a couple extra yards. So New York is going to start themselves at the 23-yard line and kind of breathing a sigh of relief after that fumble.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, because, that fumble, I mean, obviously them losing the fumble and then, and then their defense really holding up with their Brett. I mean, they got to be breathing a sigh of relief. And now that offense, here we are. The defenses have been really clamping down so far in this 3rd quarter. Let's see which offense can break out.
Yeah, right now it's been who's going to blink first if you're the offense, or if you're the defense, I'm sorry. Both these defenses looking good through the first half of this quarter here, Chad. And right now it's going to be who's going to cross that field goal range right now. Play clock down to 2. They're really using that game clock. Handoff to Noel inside. Gets 4 yards, and almost a mirror match of what they did last drive. We'll see if they try to pass on 2nd down.
Yeah, I mean, as you can see right there, just over 5 yards of carry tonight for Rob Noel. I mean, this is where I would almost feel like they just need to pound the rock, right? Just drain the clock out, wear that defense out.
Yeah, he only had 9 carries last week. He's got, it looked to be 17 from what I can see on that stat sheet there. This time they toss it off to Kane, only gets about a yard or 2, makes it a 3rd and 5. This might be a passing down coming up from the Gargoyles.
Yeah, I think this is where you got to throw the football, right? Look for Goodman there in that bunch set. Maybe try to do a slant route over the middle to Goodman here.
They do have Talababi in that bunch set as well, and they try to find Goodman. Both of them were kind of open, but Goodman was the most open. It's off his hands, and New York can't capitalize. It's 4th and 5.
Yeah, it looked like he was trying to, just basically run up at, into his route, right? And it was just kind of thrown maybe just a touch too early. And that's because San Jose was able to bring some heat from the backside there, right? Goodman able to feel it, had to get that throw out a little quicker than he wanted.
And now San Jose is going to get this return. It's a great punt down to the 30-yard line. Texera is going to get a decent return up to around the 44. There is a flag on the field. Let's see what the call is. There's going to be another clipping penalty coming up. So that is going to deduct a lot of it. Now, instead of starting at the 45, San Jose is going to start at the 29, which means more field to cover if you're the flight.
Yeah, I mean, that's not really what you want to do there, right? There was really no reason at all to throw that block in the back there by Falk. I mean, just, you know, he's not even trying to make a play towards the receiver, right?
Yeah, that's not what you want to see. That's the second clipping call as well from San Jose. They had one in the first quarter that knocked them back all the way to the 12. This time it's knocking them back out of decent field position. Now having to get 70 yards to the end zone. Another empty set here on first down. San Jose's love their empty set. White to throw, trying to find Rojas. Had it open, but the three defenders just in front of the football. One of them manages to get their hands on it. Incomplete pass.
Yeah, I mean, San Jose, I mean, you got two tight ends, you got four wide receivers. I mean, I think New York is really keying in on focusing on Victor Rojas. Maybe, as we talked about at the beginning of the quarter, try to find your other guys here in play.
White back to throw on second down, trying to find one of those targets down the middle. You had Rojas in front, and then you had Sanj Singh, who hasn't had a target yet in this game. I believe that's his first target. Incomplete once again.
Yeah, I mean, and that's something where obviously, if you get your number called, as I mentioned before, you got to make the play, and Singh right there did not do that.
4 receivers and 1 tight end on third down. White back to throw once again, trying to find Rojas this time on the right side. But now we've seen this a couple times. White has overthrown his guys, this time about 3 yards overthrown.
Yeah, it looked like they brought a middle blitz there from the linebacker, and it was well timed. He didn't get through, but I think that White felt that pressure enough to get that ball out quickly, and that's what caused the incompletion.
Now we're starting to see that defensive battle. Both defenses have looked really sharp in this third quarter. No points yet. Fair catch made at the 39-yard line. So New York now have an opportunity to extend the lead once again. And now that you're kind of seeing a stalemate, what do you do differently if you're the New York offense?
I mean, I would almost not do anything differently, right? I mean, yeah, you're in a stalemate. That's because San Jose's defense is playing really well, but just don't make mistakes, right? Hold on to the football. I mean, that's how you lost it the last time. So just secure that ball and keep your game plan going.
And one of those things might be just to give that ball to Rob Noel and have him carry the team himself. 9.5 yards to start off this drive, 2nd and inches.
Yeah, that's what you want, right? Because now Rob Noel at 100 yards rushing tonight. And that's something where that 9 yards, I mean, their playbook's wide open now. You can call run, you can call pass, you can do whatever you need to do.
And it's going to be toss play this time to Kane, who is going to get that first down. What I would like to see, Chad, is one of these quarterbacks run a draw on this play, just to run a quarterback draw if we ever see a 2nd, 3rd, or 4th and inches play. That just to see how that would pay off.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, a lot of times that can pay off because of the fact that the middle of the defense has kind of opened up a little bit.
Toss play to the left for Noel, sheds off a tackler and has space on the left side, gets the first down and waddles his way out of bounds. That is that bruising style that Bossier City has loved to see him work so far this season.
I mean, usually when you look at something that has to do with Christmas and stuff, they're usually nice and innocent and all that. But man, he just stiffed on that guy, right? Just with a vengeance. You don't usually see a violent Christmas tree, but that time you did.
Yeah, it makes me think of the bad Christmas movie with Billy Bob Thornton. Yeah, that's the guy I'm thinking of. He's the evil version of Santa. 1st and 10, 4 receivers out for New York, and it will be a toss play to Kane, and San Jose smothering up right away. No chance for Kane to break through. Stephen Goodman with the tackle for loss.
Yeah, I mean, see, now you made me think about that. It just made me think, do you want to make me to make you a sandwich or not, Brett?
I wouldn't mind some fried bologna, actually. That wouldn't be
Yeah,
too
a
bad.
little fried bologna. There you go.
All right, toss play Noel, and again, the defense for San Jose just shoring up that toss play. This time Quintana with the TFL. Now 3rd and 14 coming up for New York.
Yeah, interesting that they went with the run there, right? But I mean, just a great play by the defense to make that stop. Now you're going to see that bunch formation come out here for New York.
Yeah, you guessed it. This time on the left side, and once again, you have Goodman on an island on the right though, so I wouldn't be too surprised if they head his way. Goodman back to throw, throws left, tries to find Washington, but Stephen Goodman switching assignments manages to get the deflection off the hands, and with this being outside field goal range, this is going to be a punt.
Yeah, it's definitely got to be a punt, right? And look, I mean, Goodman switching sides. I think that was a good call there by our Vandalay, not trying to put him on Michael Goodman because he got burnt like toast last time. So great play there by Stephen Goodman.
This looks to be a good punt. This might be landing if they can get that to angle in, and it does, and it just falls in the end zone area. It's going to be a touchback for San Jose, and now this ping pong match of possessions continues to go on.
Yeah, definitely continues back and forth here, like we talked about. I mean, the offenses looked really good, and the defenses were kind of struggling in the first half. Now it's kind of flip flopped a little bit. Let's see if they're able to bust this open, San Jose.
I guess you could call that just perfect halftime adjustments from both these defenses. White back to throw on 1st down, finds Rojas in a sea of black and white, finds the hands of Rojas, and man, you talk about these struggles from White and Rojas, that might be one way to fix it.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't really seen them go from the gun here in this game so far. I would have loved to actually maybe see them go no huddle and keep New York on their heels after that play, but they break it, they go into a different formation.
Might have been a little bit of medicine to New York because last week they did a lot of gun formations, and it resulted in Goodman getting over 300 yards passing. But 1st and 10, another empty set. It's a 90 play, and it's going to go straight to one of the receivers. It's going to be Texera this time to get another 1st down for San Jose.
Yeah, I mean, Texera, just a week 3 signing, right? But I mean, this is only his 3rd game, I believe. And he's looking pretty good, like he's been here for a while.
And the big thing now, White over 300 yards passing. He's been slinging that rock a lot. The run game hasn't been too prevalent in this game so far. Back to throw again is going to be White, looking down the middle, trying to find Conduti, but it gets bobbled after the hit. New York surviving another potential catch, going 2nd and 10.
Yeah, I mean, Conduti, he's had a kind of a rough night tonight, right? 2 fumbles, and he's made a couple catches. I mean, he obviously made that nice catch, for the touchdown, but the 2 fumbles kind of overshadow that.
2nd down, 3 receivers set with 1 tight end. White back to throw again, finds that needle in the thread to get Conduti this time, and another 1st down for San Jose.
I mean, hell, what do I know, right? I mean, look at that. Conduti just proves me wrong right there, making the nice catch. That was really great play because Brady White, New York had a free rusher behind him, right? And he felt that and was able to make that throw. It was a great play.
Yeah, and sometimes you want to have those plays to really shift momentum, which San Jose needs. White back to throw once again, finding Rojas on the left side again. Looked to be another arrow route, trying to slant himself in and just had enough space to get in front of the football. Another 1st down catch for San Jose moving down the field.
Yeah, I mean, the receivers are helping him out on this drive, right? Rojas making some catches, Conduti making some catches, Texera making some catches. Like, that's what you got to do, right? I mean, Brady White can't be left on an island. Rojas now over 160 yards, and this San Jose offense is clicking.
And Victor Rojas has been a stud all game. He's starting to catch fire now late in this 3rd quarter. White back to throw, finds Conduti, one-handed in the air, and gets himself a 1st and goal. San Jose just a few yards away from pay dirt as the clock ticks to 0 here in this 3rd quarter.
Listening to me? Does he got like an earpiece in going on? Does he got like a Sony Walkman where he can hear us talking? Like, I mean, just I give him a little bit of grief, and he ends up coming out here making 2 big catches.
And a 3 here, Chad. Still 24-17, but San Jose is threatening. And speaking of you and I, Chad, let's talk about the people out there. It is your time now to get your voice on the call. We're looking for passionate SFL and SFLm participants to join our broadcast team for the continuation of the SFLm Season 10. Visit simfl.net/broadcasting for more details on how you can get involved and be one of the biggest difference makers of the future of SFL action. First and goal coming up. They're going to give it to Tim, trying to get through, and only gets stopped at the 2-yard line. A valiant effort from the 5'10 wonder, but the defense stands tall for New York.
Yeah, I mean, 5'10", 182. You're wanting Tim to develop into, a more of a speed type of back, right? He's not there yet, but he does show the potential there on that kind of run.
Inside run this time to Ace Ketchum, and the defense once again stands tall. Great work from the defensive lineman. This time it's going to be Brogan Spiraw with the stop.
Yeah, Brogan Spiraw. I mean, this is a guy that's made plays in LA over and over and over again, right? And now you got San Jose here in a third down situation.
Toss play to Tim, jumps forward and gets the score. San Jose just an extra point away from tying things up.
Man, I mean, I almost look like you probably dunking the basketball, right? With those major ups. Look at that. Just a great run there by Tim. I mean, had the open. Maybe the dive was a little unnecessary, but nevertheless, it still counts. They're an extra point away from tying this game.
I think the jump was more so just like an insurance marker to make sure that he actually went in. And yeah. I would agree, although I'd probably jump over Tim to posterize him. Extra point is up and good. San Jose has tied things up. Let's just call it 0-0, Chad, because that's what it is. 24-24, 9:15 left to go in this game.
Well, with your height, you're kind of jumping over a lot of people, right? I mean, let's just call it like it is.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I'm not the tallest person in this league because Blotner's got me by a good half inch, but I can still jump over him. Return made at the 31-yard line by Warwick. This time now, New York, you've been in this situation before. You had a 10-10 game and you exploded for 14 unanswered. Can you strike that magic hammer twice to get that lead back here with 9:10 left to go?
Yeah, I mean, as you said, it's a new ball game now, right? Nothing else matters. I mean, you've got 9 minutes ahead of you. Let's see who is able to outbox who in this situation.
And then there doesn't need to be any rush from either team either. They can just keep playing their playbook.
Yeah.
And it's worked for both sides, and that's why you're seeing a 24-24 game. Handoff, stretch to the right side for Rob Noel, gets another 6 yards. And you want to talk about reliability, Rob Noel has been that guy for them tonight.
Yeah, he has been definitely Mr. Reliable, right? Probably at over 110, maybe even 120 yards rushing tonight now. But just continue to feed the rock, right? Drain that clock.
And now Dominic Kane in the backfield. This is what we've seen a lot. Now they're going to toss it over the left side. He tries to go inside, finds the space to go out, gets a couple yards, now makes it 3rd and 1. And you can really take a guess on what they're going to do in this situation. They could go either way.
I mean, I don't know what they'll do, right? When you got a guy like Rob Noel in the backfield, what do you do, Brett? You got to run the football here.
Yeah, that's one of the big things. I would say up the gut, especially in this iPro, you have to go that way. This time is going to be a little bit of a stretch, but it still works out for Rob Noel. There wasn't much defending protection out there, but Noel finds a way. It's a new set of downs for the Gargoyles.
Yeah, I think with what, San Jose in that situation, I wouldn't have almost mind seeing some sort of blitz there, right? Try to bring the guys up, the linebackers on the edge, and try to blitz the outside to protect that stretch run, but they didn't do it, and now New York's got a first down.
Motioning Goodman over to the right slot, and there's going to be a pass for Goodman here on 1st and 10. He's trying to find his Goodman counterpart, but a great work from Sudi. He had the interception earlier in the game. This time he jars the ball out of Goodman's hands.
Yeah, Ramnar Sudi there. I mean, just what a play, right? Because, I mean, as you mentioned, he had the interception earlier. It seems like every time we call his name, it's always because he's breaking up passes, and does it right there once again.
And that's what you want out of your safeties. They either break it up or they get the interception. That's the Ed Reed style of football almost, if you want to think it that way.
Be the Mark Lopez type of football, right?
Ah, the stat sheet stuffer.
The stat sheet king.
All right, 2nd and 10 coming up for Goodman. He's going to sling that baby over. Intercepted! Big momentum swing in the form of Dustin Sokasi gives San Jose the football.
Yeah, I mean, just Sakasi, he made a play earlier when he recovered that fumble right after the big hit from Dubois Smith. But Sakasi right there is showing he can make his own plays. That was almost like a Willie Mays type of thing, right? Not even looking, able to just make the catch, get the turnover. What a play!
Yeah, Willie Mays-esque basket catch. I don't think,
I like that. Ah,
people are in the newer generation. I don't think they even know who Willie Mays is. But if you want a history lesson, just send Chad a DM and he'll let you know. But San Jose with the football here, 7:38 left to go. And it's going to be a quick step drop for White on first down, trying to find at Tim. And Jasad Grackleflint almost had himself an interception to his name, and that might have pointed for disaster for San Jose.
yeah, that was almost close, right? I mean, Grackle Flint has already made some brilliant plays tonight, and almost made another one right there.
Yeah, you got to be careful with, a lot of these reinforcement players, I guess you could call them. Guys like Brogan Spearoff, Finn Steele, which we haven't talked about, and Grackleflint has been huge for this New York defense in this game. 2nd and 10 coming up. You got 5 options, White, who you're going to go to. Down the middle, finds Conduti down the middle to flip the field, and this guy has come alive in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, like we talked about, he had the 2 fumbles that that cost turnovers, right? But and making some great plays. He had that touchdown already, but now he's really finding his zone. And Brady White, as you can see, is starting to trust Kadudi to make these catches.
Brady White telling Goodman, hey, I can emulate your performance. He's got 371. Goodman had 372 last week. White, once again, back to throw, finds space in the pocket, trying to find at Tim, and it's jarred loose. 1 foot down, but couldn't get the second before the ball popped out of his hands. 2nd and 10.
Yeah, just a nice play by the defense, right? I mean, Ant Tim, as we talked about already, still learning this game, being a new player and all. And the defender right there just made a great play.
Great utility guy so far in this game for Ant Tim as well.
Absolutely.
Catching and running. That's what you want to get out of your new signings. White, quick throw to Rojas, finds his target one-handed. Little bit of showmanship for Rojas as he continues to run past. Good 15 yards and continues to find his way closer to 200 yards receiving.
I mean, that's what we, on the offensive side of the world, as coaches want to call a blitz killer, right? Because they brought that blitz up, and when in a situation, you want to be able to have a quick throw, something of a quick slant option. He did it right there, had Rojas, great play.
White inching closer to 400, trying to get there, and couldn't quite get it in the hands of Sanj Singh. It just bobbles out of his hands. 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Andre Brown right there just to make that play, right? The new SFLm rookie in this league this season. And, we've called his name a couple times, and he's made some decent plays. So, let's see what they can do here on 2nd down.
Little bit in that buffer range for field goal for San Jose. They want to get themselves a little bit closer if they want to get any points. 2nd and 10. They're going to move Singh to the slot. White once again back to throw. Pressure coming. And doesn't get to White and almost gets it to the hands of Rojas. Maybe the sliding back did not work out. Maybe if he would have just stood up and secured the catch, it would have worked. But nonetheless, it's 3rd and 10.
Yeah, and the pressure had to get that ball out, right? I mean, first off, San Jose was able to pick it up with the right tackle and the right guard there, but they eventually broke through. But Brady White making the right throw, but just incomplete.
And this big 3rd down coming up. White back to throw one more time. Finds Conduti in the middle. His slot area on the right side has given Conduti enough separation and has given him money catches. 1st and goal coming up for San Jose.
Yeah, I mean, Conduti well over 100 yards, 143 now today for him. And that's, 7 of 10 right there. I mean, that's exactly what you want to see when it comes to having that. And Brady White, look at that, Brett, over 400 yards passing today.
410 yards, over 300 of it to Conduti and to Rojas. He's found his targets here tonight. And they're going to go heavy set, 1st and goal. And it will be a throw to White, trying to find the lone target on the right, trying to get to Curley's side, but he just curled a little bit too far. 2nd and goal.
Yeah, he was trying to make sure he wasn't seeing Mo or Larry around anywhere, right? But I mean, just not really. I don't know about the play design there, especially trying to hit a backup target there.
You think people don't know Willie Mays? They definitely won't know the Three Stooges, man.
I'm old. What do you expect?
Rollout for White, trying to find the man. It looked to be Rojas, but the pass gets deflected on the first level. So New York standing tall, but they have one more play to go before they can comfortably assume a field goal's happening.
Yeah, I mean, I just love when defenders get their hands up. You always talk about trying to get your front line to keep them hands up so they can deflect. That's exactly why you do that. Sets up third down.
Shotgun on 3rd and goal at the 6-yard line. This is going to be an interesting choice from Art Vandelay, but they're going to try to pull things off with 4 receivers. White to drop back, trying to inch his way forward, trying to get to his man, but the defender staying right on top of it. No catch, 4th down.
Yep, and now you're going to take the 3 points here, Brett.
Yeah, this is, again, another chip shot. We've seen one hit from 21 earlier from this kicker. So 23, not too far, not too further back. Should be an easy one. He angles it right. It goes right through. And San Jose, second time in this contest, they have the lead, but it's a narrow 3-point lead, 27-24. Chad, how many likes do we have on this video so far?
I know it's not enough. Whatever it is.
It's definitely not enough. I don't care what the number is, but nonetheless, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Make sure you've got notifications on so you won't miss a minute of SFL, SFLm, and UFL action to help the channel grow through your support.
Yeah, so while you're just sitting there eating bonbons and watching this game, go hit the like button.
Man, bonbons, that's another thing. Yeah, you're really showing your age here, Chad.
I am showing my age. I mean, I was trying to think of something Canadian. What would be like Canadian?
Ketchup chips.
What the hell are ketchup chips?
You've never had ketchup chips before?
No, I'm American.
Oh my goodness. Okay, okay. When I come to Baltimore, I got to bring ketchup chips and dill pickle dip. That's gonna blow your mind.
I mean,
but we got a game to call, Chad, and Rob Noel tosses that baby over to the right side and gets another 5 yards. Again, death, taxes, 5-yard game for Rob Noel. That seems to be the guarantees in life.
Yeah, I mean, just Rob has been fantastic tonight, and really both sides of the passing game and the running game here for New York has been better. It's been pretty good, but like I said, that run game has been really heavily used tonight.
2nd and 5, they're going to hand this ball off to Dominic Kane, who's going to gain a couple extra and make it a 3rd and 2. We've seen this a lot in the second half from New York. It's going to be 1st down run for Noel, 2nd down run for Kane. Is it going to be 3rd down run for Noel again?
Yeah, and I don't know, man. They look like they may go empty here. Oh, nope, they're going to split.
It's a split. Split back. They got one receiver, so it's split back pro. They give things to Noel, who's got the space on the left side and will get the 1st down. So New York trusting in that run game, only down 3. I'd say it's a smart decision from Zach Benjamin to keep the run going.
Yeah, absolutely. When you got a guy like Rob Noel, that's what you got to do, right? And he's just been electric all night. Shout out to Garrison Blue in the chat. Peanut butter fingers. He is channeling his Joey Tribbiani.
Ooh. It's been a while since I've made myself some homemade peanut butter fingers. I might have to do that later in the week. Handoff once again to Kane. It's been Noel, Kane, and it's moving them down the field. Another 4 yards for Kane.
You say you have had peanut butter fingers, but we know what peanut butter is. But anyway, 2nd and 6 here for New York, just keeping that run game going.
Well, my version of peanut butter fingers is that you dip thick pretzel sticks with peanut butter, and you let it cook in the oven for about a minute, and then you just got that perfect blend. And again, another handoff, this time to Noel. It's been back and forth between these two, and now New York's got a 3rd and inches.
I must be an animal because I think peanut butter fingers, and I'm thinking I'm dipping my fingers into the peanut butter and licking my fingers.
I'm a man of sophistication, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I can hear that. Pinkies up, my friend. Pinkies up. 3rd and inches.
3rd and inches coming up. They're going to move Talababi opposite side on the split back formation. And once again, handoff, this time tossing it over to Dominic Kane, and just gets enough for the 1st down. New York content with the run game and content with shedding this clock to as little as possible.
Yeah, I was really surprised to see a toss right there. I was a little scared when he tossed it to the outside, but Dominic Kane making it work. All he needed was a yard, and he got it.
Yeah, he got that. He got the necessary yard, and once again, handoff. Rob Noel gets another 5. They're going to give him 6 on this play, and right now, run game is king for the Gargoyles.
Yeah, I mean, they are just draining this clock to where they get the last opportunity to score, right? I mean, even if it's going to be in field goal, because that's what their mission is, at least get 3, but they want to try to get 7 here.
Yeah, and that has to be the goal. They want to have the lead. Toss play again, opposite side of Dominic Kane, but it pays off. Another first down for New York, and they're getting ever so close to the 2-minute warning.
Man, every time that opposite side toss scares the living daylights out of me, but for somehow, some way, New York is making it work. Great first down.
Clock ticking down now to 2:15. This is the first time we've seen full receivers out, but they still have Rob Noel, and they will give it to him on a toss over to the left or over to the right side, and he will get 4 yards. And Chad, this might be the last play before the final 2-minute warning coming up in this game. And man, has it been an exciting matchup. San Jose with a narrow 27-24 lead with 120 ticks left. The big 2-minute drill coming up for New York, and they got themselves at the 26. Delayed handoff to Rob Noel. Tries to get to the first down marker, doesn't quite get to it, but it's a 3rd and 1 coming up for the Gargoyles.
Yeah, this is what I was going to mention before, right? Even out of that quads look from the play before, a draw run would have been beautiful right there. And they get a draw run right there, sets up a nice 3rd and short.
And you have to think this is 4-down territory considering where they are. Now at the 21-yard line, they're going to hand things off to Kane, who's going to push himself forward. Defender almost getting to Kane before the first down, but Bobby Green couldn't quite get to him before he passes it.
I mean, the defender right there just forcing back that offensive lineman, right? Beating him to that spot and was able to force him into the runner, but Dominic Kane making a great run there to get the first down.
And now they're looking content to shed more clock off as they motion a man over to the left side. And Goodman back to throw. This is the first pass play of this drive. They're going to dump it off to Noel, who's going to step out of bounds, stop the clock at 1:02 to go. 2nd and 7 coming up.
Yeah, I mean, that was just, obviously with the screen pass right there, it kind of forced Noel out, but that's really kind of the perfect thing you wanted to happen, right? You stop the clock on your own without burning a timeout.
And essentially, they've really, cut this time in half in just 4 plays alone. Now at a minute 2, and there's inside the 20. Handoff to Dominic Kane, only gets a yard. And right now, they're looking content to keep things as is. No timeout called yet.
I mean, Dubois Smith there just laying the pipe. I mean, just what a hit.
And now 3rd and 6 coming up. This could be anything. They've got shotgun coming in. They could draw this if they want. But it's going to go back to throw is Goodman. They got pressure coming up, trying to find that man in the middle, but great work from the San Jose secondary to block that middle of the field. And now they're going to have to settle with the Rackers field goal attempt to tie this up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind the shot, right? You want to try to take at least one shot in the end zone if you're just going to be content with 3 points. But let's see if Rackers can handle this pressure and make this field goal.
And coming off the right hash, it's curling through, but it will go right down the middle of Main Street. So New York ties this game up with about 30 seconds left to go. Is that enough time for San Jose to get down the field?
I mean, here's the thing, right? I mean, the wide receivers on that last drive, Brett, looked really good, right? Able to catch a lot of passes from Brady White. This team could strike. You never know. But let's see how aggressive our Vandelay's play call is.
It all depends on where that kickoff is going to be. It's going to be a short kickoff. It was returned at the 15. And look at the space that Conduti has, but stopped at the 34-yard line. All right, San Jose, 25 ticks left. All 3 timeouts left in use. Do you expect Brady White to sling this rock on first down?
I mean, I would expect something, right? I mean, it scares me that you got a running back there in the backfield, but I mean, you got a quads look. I would look for something soft in the zone there in the middle of that defense.
It's just 4 in pursuit. They're going to bring Graco Flynn, and it will be a target to Texera, who's going to flip the field immediately at around the 45. San Jose will call their first timeout.
I mean, what a play, right? Texera, a week 3 signing, showing that even somebody who's just new in this league can make a big impact. That was a huge catch right there.
Going back to the quads look. It worked well from them last time. Can they strike lightning twice? White back to throw, looking for Conduty, finds him, and he's landed inside the 30-yard line. 2 plays, about 40 yards of action just from those 2 throws alone. Great work from this San Jose offense.
I mean, now is the really big decision, right? What do? You got 1 timeout left. Do you try to toss something to the outside and hope you get out of bounds? Or do you just toss in the middle, then go for the field goal, Brett?
From this spot, it would be 46. And I think they want to get closer. White to throw, trying to find his man, but the flag is up. This could potentially be pass interference. And indeed, it will be. It'll only be a couple of yards. I think that was only about 6 yards, but it's nonetheless, a PI still results in an automatic first down.
I mean, and what it does too, you gain yardage and you didn't have to burn that time out, right? So now you're probably what, the 23, 24 yard line? That's really good field goal range.
And the big marker that we got to see left on the time is going to be 8 seconds, because that's usually when they want to secure themselves that field goal. So maybe they have 1 play left.
Man, I would almost run this football.
They're going empty set, and they're going to move Texera over the left. White back to throw, finds his lone receiver. Rojas is trying to push through and can't quite get it, but gets it down to the 3-yard line. San Jose calls their final timeout. This is where the kicking unit has to come in. Ice
in his veins. Brady White is that man. Victor Rojas, 200 yards receiving. What a throw, what a catch. Sets up the possible game-winning field goal here, Brett.
From 20 yards on the right hash mark for San Jose to come back down 14 in the second quarter and take things 30-27, but there's still a second left to go. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen, man. I'll tell you what, that thing started left and I was like, uh-oh. But what a fantastic drive. Brady White just taking it on his shoulders, being that leader. And that, I got to tell you, when there are going to be quarterbacks that might be available, quarterback spots that might be open next season in the pros, maybe this guy is somebody that can come and step in, right? Because that is showing that he can win.
10-yard line, and it's not going to be returned much further. San Jose will walk out of New York with a 3-point victory after being down 24-10. They win things 30-27. Chad Rowland, what a hell of a game we saw.
I mean, that's the way you want to start the SFLm block, right? I mean, just what a great game. We talked about New York being that team that's just scoring 80 points in 4 games. San Jose struggling out the gate, but scored 30 in the past week. Guess how many they scored this week, Brett? Another 30. So this offense is clicking with Brady White and Victor Rojas and Luis Cotti. I mean, just what a great game from the San Jose offense.
Brady White ends up 26 of 52 for 466 yards. A flip reverse performance where he only saw 22 pass attempts and kept things clean. But Rob Noel from New York's side definitely tried to help carry things with over 150 yards, but that two-headed beast in San Jose, 200 from Rojas, 159 from Caduti. Those two men were just absolutely stellar tonight, which led to the comeback victory for these guys. I mean, final thoughts, game ball, who's the go-to?
Man, I mean, you got to give it to Brady White for the game ball, right? I mean, as you said, 466 passing yards is huge. I mean, the receivers helped them out. Trust me, they made the big plays. But when it mattered, you got down 3, you had the final drive, you rely on your quarterback to make that play, to make those throws, and to be that leader of your offense. And that's exactly what Brady White did. Props to him. He gets my game ball.
Fantastic finish here from New York. San Jose finds a way to limit New York's offense to just 3 points in the second half. en route for a come-from-behind victory. San Jose and New York now both at 3-2, heading to different territories next week. It's going to be exciting to see these two teams moving forward. Final score, make the final 30-27 in favor of San Jose. I have been Brett Sahlberg. This has been AliExpress Brett Sahlberg. We like to bid you all a adieu.